Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
What's going on, everybody?
We're back to talk Vanderpump Rules. This is season 11, episode 6. Saw it on the gram. Make sure you like and subscribe here and on TikTok at the Reality Guys. All of our reviews, clips, news, anything and everything reality TV. We got you covered. Brian, I think the season is finally starting to pick up steam, right? Week 2 of Tahoe. Looks like we're going to have at least 3 weeks in Tahoe. So Tahoe, real big arc here this season. Um, I really want to start with the conversation, or really the argument between Lala and Sandoval. I think that was probably the biggest juice, frankly, for me, and really cut to the core of a lot of it. And then obviously we could talk the Sheena of it all, like we do every week, it seems like, for somebody who had nothing happen to her. Um, the gist of the argument with Lala and Sandoval was Lala basically saying to him, it's just crazy that like you were able to conceive this stuff and you were able to look in people's faces and talk about their lives when you were having this affair. Sandoval said, "You're right. But what's crazy coming from you, Lala, because of anybody in this group for 6 years, you hid most of your personal life and said things were off duty and we had no right to go there," which is a very valid, fair point that a lot of cast members and fans have had. Lala doesn't like hearing that, whether she believes it or is defensive of it, gets very upset. They start yelling. And that's kind of really where we like left them. I mean, they were still chilling, getting ready to leave the whole thing, but Brian, where do you stand on all of this, that argument, and just kind of the episode?
Yeah, I mean, if Tom just said sorry off rip, I mean, I'd love to see how like many people would be like ready to go back on his side, like the public. I mean, I don't know, man. The public is still like so anti him. You go on the
Yeah,
internet, man. It's just like he could do no good,
like ever the
even if
rest of
he's taking
history.
baby steps. Like obviously, like he is still a POS, but like I forget who said it on the show. It was like everyone's human. Oh, it was Ashley Tisdale on Watch What Happens
Yeah,
Live. Yeah, like everyone has faults. Like you gotta just like extend an olive branch a little bit. But yeah, it's really hard to start being like fully against him after 6 episodes of the season.
yeah. I don't whether they're trying to make him a sympathetic figure or not. It is the fact of the matter of anyone who's watched this show now after for a while, or really any reality TV at all. It's like they all did things, man. They've all made mistakes over the 11 years and they've all screwed each other over and lied and had to grow. And why? Just because he did it last or because he was with her the longest. I mean, again, I don't excuse cheating ever. The point James made last week and in week 2, why the hell couldn't you just break up? You could have just broken it. They're dumb. All these people are
Yeah, yeah,
dumb.
they're all dumb. We
They're
say
all
that all
just
the time.
so dumb. They just do this, to make all the wrong decisions. And like, frankly, like we have the Valley coming up and all the news now about like Jackson Brittany and apparently him not doing things that she's asked him to do. And yeah, big surprise, right?
Yeah,
Like, so it's crazy, man. But he wasn't wrong. She's not wrong either. But even, it's crazy to say, but Sheena made and Brock are making the best points in the episode, but Sheena saying specifically to Ariana, I can't hate somebody for you anymore. It just is no good for me. Again, you shouldn't hate somebody just because they did something. Look, you cannot like someone, but to hold that kind of hate. And again, I'm sorry to point out this fact. They all profited off of it. The show was going to be done. All their podcasts were done. Like Sheena talked about how in the pandemic she was broke, and now Sheena just bought a $2.5 million house. Like,
right.
oh, that's Scandoval money, man. Like, not all of it, but a lot of it. Like, these people just
Yeah,
need to all just let it do a reset now. We're on a new season, right? Jax used to cheat on Brittany and other people every damn season, and everyone cared. We didn't even talk about it.
right. Yeah, I mean,
It's just like enough.
yeah, Sheena. I'm just like when she's like they're back to back and she's just crying. I was just like, you can't make it up, and like you knew where this was gonna go. And I said to you pre-show, like when Brock continues to be the voice of reason, like that's a problem with these people on this cast. Like they're dumb. They're dumb.
Ariana, Katie,
Don't
all
care.
they just need to decide is if they frankly want to be part of the show or not. I don't blame Ariana for wanting nothing to do with Tom. I don't blame Katie for wanting nothing to do with her ex husband either, right? but then don't be on the show. Frankly, like if you don't want to interact with the whole group and you can't do
Mhm.
group things, don't be on the show. Like have your own
Yeah,
show. Go be on Jackson's show. Like I don't I
I
like
agree,
our
man.
I liked I just don't want to feel like this. I don't want to like not be liking Ariana when she's the one that got cheated on and stuff. I'm like the anti of all the comment sections. Like I feel like I'm a crazy person.
Yeah, when they're just checking in, they have like their own little subsection of like the show. It's boring. I don't care about anything that's going on in their plot points currently.
Their sandwich shop's not open yet. They're interviewing people for a place that we know in real life isn't even open.
Yeah, it's
Getting mad at the
brutal.
lady who runs the kitchen for asking questions. Like, what are you talking about? Leave it alone. You shouldn't even be there.
Yeah, I have nothing to say about it because I just find it completely uninteresting. Like you're getting paid by the show if you're not going to participate in like at least bare minimum things. I agree with you. They
Shout
shouldn't.
out to the creepy waiter guy though with his pickled pun. You know, I guess because I got a big dill.
I thought he said he's
You're
got
a
a big
creep.
deal. He said he's got a big deal, or he's a
A
big
big
deal.
dill. Yeah, it's because I got a big dill.
Um, yeah,
You're a creep,
yeah.
dude. First of all, he's also working at the Four Seasons in Beverly Hills, interviewing for the sandwich shop. Like, what is going on in the economy? That's all you need to know right there.
I just wonder if a lot of any of these interviews are actually real.
Of course, they're not real, Brian.
Well, I just want to say that out loud because
You're
that
like
dude.
you're like the wrestling fan that goes to WrestleMania. It's like you know they know who was gonna win,
Well,
right? It's like
I
yeah,
just want to say
thanks.
that sometimes I think a lot of people treat this show as like it is real. I mean, if you look at the comments and people online, they're taking like these things as gospel.
They need to have like one of those scenes like they had at the end of like The Hills where like they called cut and they pulled back and they showed me in like a studio. It's like, yeah, guys, this is all produced. See, you know, like let's all like hammer this home on the way out. This was a pretty fictional show here. You weren't watching 24, Jack Bauer.
Which is fictional.
But is he? um yeah, like look, I enjoyed it overall. No Lisa this episode. We get no Sir anymore. Like Sir
Mhm.
used to be a character. I do miss Sir, like them being centrally located, but obviously they're just old. So
I mean, that's kind of what like when the show if you're not working, it takes away a lot of the strife
it's
too.
like
And
Southern hospitality is now like the new Vanderpump, basically.
I know I think we're gonna have to give it. We're
We're gonna
probably
have
gonna
to
have to be
watch
there for
season
season
three. We
three.
missed season two, so
Yeah, we'll probably have to be there. But
it's all
yeah,
right.
I
We'll
just
do
because
it.
these people they're not that they're again they're not interesting and they're just like rich doing nothing. Tom can't close on a girl on a boat. Um,
Did you see the whole time that they were taking? I guess were they in like a gondola or like whatever they were? Yeah, they're in the gondola, and it's when Sandoval's talking to Brock, and he's got Schwartz sitting next to him. And the more that Sandoval's talking, they show Schwartz like sinking into his
yeah,
seat more. By the end of it, he's like down here. He's like,
that's what I'm saying. Like I thought Brock was making a pretty good point. Like that's what's sad. It's like why is he the only one who's like thinking about it? Like he obviously he's talking for Sheena a little bit, but he's still like, look, you need to take some accountability. Like they just all these other people just yell at him that Sandoval. If they took a better approach, I think like they could probably have more constructive conversations. They almost need like Lisa to be there as a mediator or something like that.
yeah, no, I mean it's gonna be interesting. I'm just curious, like what's the arc of this season, right? Is it just the redemption of Tom Sandoval? Is that like what they're going for here? I'm curious, like where we're ending. You know,
Right? Because if any of those people actually hated Tom, they wouldn't have gone on that trip.
no,
Everybody on that trip is going to forgive him or be friends with him in
or
an
at least
X
we'll
amount of
film with
episodes.
him, obviously, and do all the tricks
Exactly.
and
Yeah,
stuff. So
exactly. So we're not stupid as viewers. Like they wouldn't go on the show. They wouldn't go on that trip if they didn't want to have like there was a little bit of a chance that they want that thing back. They want
I
the whole
agree.
thing back.
No, I agree. I think that's basically it, Brian. I think overall, giving us more to talk about here. I'm looking forward now to these episodes. The beginning of the season was a bit of a dredge, so I wasn't really looking forward to these reviews. So
Right.
nice to be looking forward to it. Like I mentioned before, check out our TikTok, check out all of our playlists here on YouTube. If we are not covering it, shout it out in the comments. If it's something that we can fit in, we will give it a shot. But for myself, Brian, everyone at the Reality Guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace.